Welcome to another episode of the Fit Frequency. I'm your host, Doug Wattenschaidt, and today we got a very special episode with Coach Gavin. We learn about how he got into exercise and fitness through his late grandfather and what it was like transitioning from being a football star at Ohio Wesleyan to being an awesome CrossFit and personal trainer here at Delaware Fit Factory, and how he just loves helping people reach their best. There's also a good chunk at the end where I embarrass myself being almost twice his age. I needed some clarification. I'll let you listen through to get to that point. Without further ado, here is Gavin Wilson. Coach Gavin, give us a real quick introduction to who you are before we dive deep into your past and all of the things leading up to now. But somebody walks in the door, who's Coach Gavin?
Okay, my name's Gavin Wilson. I've been coaching CrossFit for 7 months now. I recently graduated last May of 2025 with my degree in exercise science from Ohio Wesleyan. I coached some other group fitness before I got into CrossFit. Was doing CrossFit for about a month starting in June. Decided I want to be a coach, reached out to you, and then got the opportunity here. So that's a brief history of myself.
Okay. Young Gavin, how did he get involved in exercise, workouts, athletics? Why did you not become like a traveling salesman or a librarian or something? How did you get here?
So my late grandfather, I would say he got me into exercise at an early age, and that actually led to me getting into athletics, not the other way around, athletics getting into exercise. He did bodybuilding, powerlifting. I remember we were at like a water park one time when I was young, and he's like, go ahead and flex your biceps for me. And then he's like, we're going to get you into bodybuilding when you're older. And he passed away when I was in high school. So I just kind of continued to, ever since he introduced me to exercise, carry on with that. And it's always kind of just been my passion. So, yeah.
Okay. So a pretty good role model, somebody that showed you not just what to do, but like the benefits, and it kind of stuck with you, as opposed to like, kind of, getting bigger biceps. But, there seems to be more to it, just knowing that you've gone the route of coaching and teaching it to others. You had some pretty good people to follow.
Yeah. Obviously not bodybuilding, but found a different path in fitness. So, yeah.
So college, you played football at Ohio Wesleyan.
I did.
Tell us a little bit about how that went hand in hand with your education and what it's been like transitioning away from the field and into, like, I guess more your professional field instead of being on the field.
Okay. All right, so obviously going to college, playing a college sport, learning how to take care of your body, that's very important. When I actually got there at first, I was in sports management classes, but then I was like, I wanted to go a PT route, not personal training, a physical therapy route. Got into that for a couple years. Realized that I was going to have to do a lot more schooling if I went that way, so I decided to change, go strength and conditioning. And I think just the knowledge from that kind of contributed to my success in the weight room. And then also just having that knowledge and being an influence in the weight room that transferred to my leadership on the field. And then I had a great role model there, Coach Anthony Glass. Taught me a lot my senior year. I got to be an intern under him. Got to work with a few sports teams, soccer, basketball, lacrosse, and then taught me a lot about Olympic weightlifting when I was there as well. So power output through lifts, and that transferred to on-field success as well. So, yeah.
I'm biased, but that sounds a lot like CrossFit.
It does, yeah.
Very cool. So I guess speaking to that, so you got a lot of experience performing at a high level, and then working with others that perform at a high level.
Yes.
And then we don't necessarily need to say the business that you were involved with, but it was, again, I'm biased, exercise at a lower level, if you will.
Yes.
I'm kicking myself for bashing other forms of exercise. But it seemed like a very quick yes. After you and I were chatting for the first time, what kind of transition was it from? I'm really trying not to use the name, from the type of fitness instructing you were doing to now what you're doing here at Delaware Fit Factory.
Yeah, so after I got done with college football, I really enjoyed Olympic lifting, and I just wasn't getting that at the other place I was at because it was just dumbbell stuff. So I wanted a change there. I like the high power output stuff. I like the technique that goes behind it. What am I trying to say? So that kind of drew me into CrossFit because we do that at high repetitions. We do it at low repetitions. We work a lot of barbell stuff, but we also mix in, gymnastics and dumbbell movements and kettlebell movements. And that's why it was such a quick yes, because when I saw that, on top of CrossFit just being difficult and competitive as it is, I just kind of fell in love with it, and that's where I was drawn to. So, yeah.
Very cool. So, training people, whether it's through CrossFit or whether it's personal training, tell us a little bit about what it's like working with people. So, you're not the one working out; you're helping people work out, which can be sometimes it can be a little bit tough to flip that switch. Some very quickly realize, like, oh, this is not for me. I thought it would be, but it is not. It clearly is for you because you've been here for a little bit. So working with a variety of different ages, fitness levels, what is it like being on the other side of the workout?
I think it is exciting to see, everybody comes in at a different level of fitness, different experiences with fitness. Maybe they're doing something else before they got into CrossFit, and some movements are entirely new to them. But just seeing over time, people becoming more proficient in those new movements, and then getting to push them and ask them questions like, "How are you feeling with this weight today? How do you feel like you're progressing?" And then watching them go and kill it in a lift. I think it's exciting. I think at that point, that you're doing something for other people when you can teach and help them with those sort of things. It's just different than for myself because obviously I have different goals and I'm at a different place than everyone else as well. So, I don't know, just getting that shared experience is nice.
Yeah. Similar. When I drank the CrossFit Kool-Aid and started to even consider training people, it was the shared experience. So, like, I absolutely love it. I want to teach everybody all this stuff. And then when you see somebody, it doesn't always have to be a PR. Like, of course, if somebody picks up the heaviest thing they ever have in their life, like, that's awesome. When somebody goes, like, runs a mile faster, or something just clicks, you're like, oh, I understand how to do this lift now.
Yeah.
Or, working with nutrition clients, when I see people that are just like in shock the first time they've been under X amount of weight since high school or something like that. Yeah. So that shared experience of health and wellness and fitness, and you and I are very, very different in regards to like our strengths on the floor, but we still kind of celebrate it together. And it's also, we have that with those that we train as well, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna say them?
Oh yeah, just understanding, like, I like what you said about when it clicks for people. Like, you notice maybe even if they're not doing more weight, or maybe they haven't set a new PR, but just moving better, being more fluid in their lifting technique. And then, obviously people being excited to upscale their scaling options as well. They move on to a higher level of scaling than what they were at before. Maybe in wall walks, they're moving from inchworm push-ups to partial wall walks or wall walk holds, and that's exciting to see. So, and there's plenty of other lifts like that. Maybe in handstand push-ups, they go from pike push-ups to actually being able to go up on the wall, or maybe when it comes to pull-ups, they go from ring rows to being able to get on the rig doing some banded pull-ups, and eventually assistance free pull-ups. So all all exciting things to see for people at an individual level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. So we've got two different Gavins here. We've got professional Gavin, the trainer, and then we've got athletic Gavin, the athlete. Let's start with the trainer route. What kind of goals or what would you like to see happen in 2026 as far as, maybe it's with you or maybe it's with some clients or maybe it's with the industry? Like, what's on your professional 2026 goal list?
Yeah, I would say just becoming more knowledgeable, having more free information to give out to people when they ask, and not being like, oh, let me get back to you on that. But just, being like an encyclopedia of fitness and health. That's acquiring more knowledge. That's one goal. When it comes to clients, acquiring more clients. Every client comes in, they have different goals. And some people are working in different things or towards different things. So getting to make those connections is nice. What was the last? Yeah,
that's good. I mean, you've got such a diverse group of people that you're working with, from a high school sports star to somebody who just needs to make a health and wellness change stat. So like, you've got a pretty diverse group, and just growing that is awesome. What about personally, as far as like your athletic endeavors? What are you trying to do? I've seen some numbers written on the back. I don't have them memorized.
Yeah. I've never competed in the open, so obviously competing in the open and not beating myself up about the results, because obviously it's going to be my first time. It's probably going to be a little bit of a struggle, but understanding there's room to grow. The lifting I was doing prior to CrossFit is a lot different. So getting better at gymnastics movements, building that engine for all sorts of movements overall. So I think one of my goals back there is like 15 bar muscle ups unbroken. And, before I started CrossFit, I couldn't do a bar muscle up. And then, a month in, I get one, and then start stringing together, 2, 3, 4, and it just keeps on building. And then obviously just getting stronger overall in individual lifts, clean and jerk. I'd say I didn't do a lot of overhead pressing or split jerking, so getting better in that sense and allowing that to catch up to my clean, and then bench press, squat, front squat, deadlifting, just becoming stronger overall in those lifts. Training consistently, not making excuses about why not to come in. Sore doesn't mean that you're injured, right? Hurt doesn't always mean injury. So developing a better mindset, locking in on my nutrition, my sleep. I don't know. This is the first time in fitness I've ever felt like I've been able to have some sort of competition, even if it's not against others, it's against myself. And while that may be disappointing some days, there's a lot of reward that comes from that. So I'm continuing to chase after better health and fitness overall, and then maybe do it at an elite level. That'd be great in the future. So yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, elephant in the room, there's a big age gap at this table. How old are you?
22.
22. Okay, so I need some help. Explain to me the difference between DAP and DAB.
I don't know if you want that explanation. Oh.
So I think maybe it might have been your first week here.
Oh, to DAP.
I did one of these.
Oh,
and you're like, what? That's not it.
You might want to re-ask that question, because I'm thinking of like dab as in like marijuana. Like, no. I'm like, are you sure you want to talk
we're
about
gonna keep this? No.
Oh yeah.
So the lingo sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm almost 40. I do my best.
Yeah.
But I think it was like your first week here. We were trying to dap it up.
Yeah.
And I said dab, and you're like, that's not right.
Yeah.
And then even my daughter was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, you get a little dap up. It's like it's like a greeting or a farewell, So you come here and then lock fingers, and then you can snap afterwards if you want.
And that would be DAP.
DAP, yep, DAP.
DAB is like the thing where I embarrass people when I put my face in my armpit.
Yeah, that's
right?
like a 2015
Okay,
Cam
so
Newton thing. I don't know if kids do that
we,
anymore.
we don't dab anymore. Okay. Gas.
Gas, like that's good. Like gas. That's what lights the fire. So
Okay.
that's gas.
I get that. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about DAP or DAB. Okay.
Yeah.
And then my daughter brought up one. She said 6'7" is so 2025, 2026. Clacking?
Bro, I honestly, now I'm getting out of like, I don't know what that stuff means.
She's
I just
10,
know
so
a meme.
it's
So yeah, that's from like you to me and now me to like that generation.
yeah.
I have no idea. So
all right. Let's bring it back in a little bit. So, rapid fire. Try not to think too much. Whatever comes, just throw it into the microphone. Least favorite CrossFit movement?
thrusters.
Favorite CrossFit movement? You're thinking too much.
Ring muscle ups.
Oh, okay. Least favorite workout you've done so far here?
Grace.
Grace.
Yeah.
Okay. We just did that.
Yeah.
What was your time?
I don't want to say. It was
That's
not
fine.
good.
That's fine. I'm
was
sure
not
it was
good.
just fine. Okay, favorite CrossFit workout?
I don't know.
All of them. 100 burpees for time.
So I would say none of them. Can I say none? I don't have a
Yes.
favorite.
Yes.
Yeah.
If there's one thing that you can guarantee will not be in the open, what would it be? It can be a movement. It can be a workout. Running. Okay.
Right. Running's never in the open, right?
True.
Oh,
I mean, like
yeah.
your preference.
Oh, my preference. Oh, okay. I don't even know. Dumbbell thrusters. No, those are gonna definitely be in the open. Yeah, I don't want dumbbell thrusters.
It sounds like you don't want thrusters, but we're gonna.
I mean,
have
I can
thrusters.
like bar thrusters. I can suffer through those. Dumbbell thrusters, it's just uncomfortable to be in a front rack with dumbbells. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Agreed. Shoot. Last book that you read.
Right now, we're in 33 Principles of War. And I'm reading it currently.
That sounds scary.
It's a book about winning your social battles and like how to lead people. So,
Okay.
but last book I finished, Never Finished by David Goggins.
You finished the book Never Finished by David Goggins.
Yes.
Okay, I know who David Goggins is. Gary, I hope you're listening. Who's going to carry the boats? Okay, an album. Do you know what an album is?
Yeah.
Okay, an album that just personifies you in your best like workout form. So for me, I'd have to go way back to like 2004, 2005. It would be something from Limp Bizkit. You're getting ready to crush a workout. What album are you going to?
Yeah, I'd have to say maybe The Off Season by J. Cole. I like, there's probably some album out there by Breaking Benjamin or 3 Days Grace or Linkin Park. I'm trying to think of the album from Linkin Park. Meteora by Linkin Park album. Yeah, Meteora. Yeah, that would probably be the one actually. So
Is that oldies for you?
yeah, early I mean,
Pam
like
and I are just like cringing right now.
yeah, 90s to early 2000s. That's starting to be oldies. I mean, I'm getting older, so I know that's weird for me to say to you. But
Yeah. Okay, so last question. You just happen to bump into somebody in the street and they're like, "Hey, you work at that gym, right? You're a fitness guy." They're intimidated. They're scared to death to talk about fitness or to even consider walking into the gym. What would you say to them? How do they begin their journey if they're just afraid?
Yeah. I'd say that what we do here is for everyone. I think there's a misconception that CrossFit is not for everyone, but we scale workouts to make sure that people stay moving and get the results they're looking for. And we have a great community that supports and cheers people on. You're going to make a ton of great friends when you walk through the door. So that would be what I tell them.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Where can we find you on, what's it called? Instagram.
Instagram, you can find me at active_Gav. And yeah, that's really where I post the most. So
Very cool.
yeah.
And there you have it, Coach Gavin Wilson at Delaware Fit Factory. You can find him again on Instagram, active_Gav. That's active_GAV. You can find him on Instagram. You can also find us at Delaware Fit Factory on Instagram and Facebook. If you got some requests, if you want to hear from somebody specific, please let us know. Shoot us a DM, or you can email us, info@delawarefitfactory.com. Until next time, make sure that you're eating those good foods, you're staying hydrated, you're being consistent in the gym, and striving to be better every day. Catch you in the next one.